Hi, my name is Keith Slinsky, 28 years old, town of Warwick police officer in New York State. I was born and raised and currently live in the town of Goshen in New York. I've been a police officer for 3 years now. Got started in March of 2015. When I was a little kid, about middle school, they had the 9/11 terrorist attacks, so I've always admired the police officers and firefighters that were heroes during 9/11. Ended up making me want to become a police officer to fulfill a duty and help the community. I feel that I have a good rapport and relationship with the community that I serve, as well as the town of Warwick Police Department. I think we do a great job, and I feel like we put forth our best effort on a daily basis. I would say this community that I work in has definitely had a more positive outlook with police and has wanted more police interaction with the school shootings that have occurred and the things that go on in our society nowadays. I think my community has become more pro-police. They've always been positive with police, but I think they like seeing us more, and now we're in the schools more. So I would say it's positive overall. I would say one of my most enjoyable moments as a police officer, besides graduating the academy after a 6-month academy, besides getting hired here at the town of Warwick Police Department, those are big accomplishments to me, so I've really enjoyed those. I also say the one time when we ended up catching a shooting suspect after he had just shot somebody and we pursued him. That was probably an enjoyable moment. Not that so much that we caught the guy, but afterwards, like realizing like, wow, we just did something pretty big. We actually caught somebody that literally just shot somebody else.
Some challenges police officers face on a daily basis would be that you never know when you're going to a call what you may be going into. Something as simple as a domestic dispute could be something a lot more. You always have to be prepared for any circumstances that may arise. Other things would be like some people like you're going to deal with don't like police, and if you're in a situation where you have to arrest somebody, they may end up be willing to do anything to not get arrested. And yeah, that's pretty much like the two biggest factors, I would say. You're always dealing with situations where you always got to be prepared for anything.
I grew up on a farm. We used to have beef cattle and pigs when I was a kid. We had probably about 150 cows and probably like 200 pigs. It was a good experience, and I think it was a good upbringing. It gave me a good work ethic. Thankful my parents brought me up in that atmosphere, because I don't think if it wasn't for them I wouldn't be where I am today. I would say some similarities of farming and being a police officer would be like the saying is you gotta bale hay when the sun shines. Like you have to do things based on time frames, and also like I feel like most police officers have a great work ethic, and I feel like all farmers I've ever met have had a great work ethic, because if you aren't pushing yourself or working hard, you're not going to make a profit.
I'll never live it down. Was me and him were quadding dirt biking one time, and my goggles fogged up on my helmet, and I didn't see Keith stopped on the dirt bike and ran right in the back of him and ran him over. That's one of the funniest things. But it was, I mean, I can't say it's one of my favorite memories, but it's just one that I'll always remember. Me and him together.
Right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't fun at the time, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just funny now.
That stays there, though.
Go ahead, Cody. I'm still thinking. I got a lot of years to think.
Yeah,
it's
fine.
There's really no rush.
Keep
Yeah.
still remembering with me. Yeah, well, hey.
I'm like, yeah, working with Keith's my favorite memory.
Building the star.
Oh, star, that's not bad one.
Yeah, my favorite memory of Keith would probably be on top of the silo behind his house. Actually, there's a giant wooden star, and apparently a few years ago Keith's father and uncle actually built the original one, and it just got weathered and stuff over time and deteriorated. So this winter we actually rebuilt the star.
We actually had a military member's mother come to our farm and say that we have Stewart Airport here, is where people would come back, fly over from Iraq and Afghanistan, and they would come back to this military base. And the mother was saying how her son flies the plane back with these military members, and what they would do was every time they saw our star on our silo, according to this mother, they would say, hey, we're home now, because within another 10 minutes of flying, they were back at Stewart Airport Base. So this article ended up making our local paper based on the reference to the military to the star or local military members. So as years have gone on, the star's been weathered, and like Cody said, and we had to rebuild it, and it just has that, it's like symbolistic to Christmas, the holidays, and maybe some of these people that have actually seen it in the past. So during the Christmas seasons, or like we have for Easter or 4th of July, we'll light this star just so that like people can see it.
I do worry about Keith while he's on the job, because while he's here, Keith is, to me, he's just Keith is the best way to explain it. He's my neighbor, he's my friend. And when he goes to work...
Best friend? Jeez.
Best friend, I'm sorry. When he goes to work, punches the clock, wherever he clocks in, I don't see what he does. I feel like what does make me worry is looking at YouTube videos, because you can watch those all day long, what happens to police officers, whether it's a traffic stop or a body cam, and that makes you realize that, hey, those things can happen to my best friend. And Keith comes home every day, and I text him every day, and Snapchat him every day, and to see those things, it's real life. They can happen.
Yeah, I definitely get worried about Keith when he goes to work. With the YouTube, Instagram, anything, you know, they always the videos you can watch and see what could happen to him, what other officers go through, have to deal with. It's always just something in the back of your head or in your head that Keith could be one of those officers that has to deal with that stuff. And I definitely worry when he goes to work, especially working midnights.
It's always that saying, it's like, oh, it won't happen to me, it won't happen to me. But hey, guess what? There's good of a chance of it happening to Keith as it can to anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% with
that. I think subconsciously I always worry about Keith coming home, but it's like one of those things where I expect Keith to come home just as much as I'd expect Craig or JJ to come home when they're done with work. With all what's happening to officers and what's everything that's going on in the world these days, you really never know exactly what's going to happen. So I definitely do worry.
Lardy station for a fight outside. Railroad green.
Receiving route. Ready?
So for people that don't like police officers or had bad encounters, or maybe they even grew up in neighborhoods where they felt police were always against them, I feel like they should understand that most police officers are good and they want to help you and they want the best for you and are willing to help you get a positive outcome in your life. So don't be afraid to ask for help or call a police officer if you need them. We're always here to help, no matter what perception or any experiences you've had in the past with law enforcement. This was my first experience ever being filmed or videotaped, I guess knowingly. I don't know what people do on the street, but we got along really well. You guys, I'm surprised like nowadays that you guys actually chose to pick a police officer to do a documentary on. And I appreciate that. That's good to see, like, younger college students actually wanting to shed a light of an officer who we really are compared to what some people see us as robots or don't see us as even humans, which at the end of the day, we're all the same. And me and you guys have like joked around, got along well. And I think the experience was great. I've never had to, like you said, materialize this information before. So some of the questions might have been a little difficult. but overall, I think it was a great experience.
It's pretty cool. So much stuff.
Derek Jeter's house. You guys
Yeah.
know who Derek Jeter is?
Yes,
Yeah.
in fact, I do know.
He's got a house over here.
Yeah, he does.
Who? Derek Jeter?
Who's that?
Oh my God.
Legendary
Get
baseball
out of the
player.
You're literally the
Nice.
first person I've ever met in my entire life that doesn't know Derek Jeter. Literally, first person.
Sorry. That's like
That's like the epitome of baseball, or epitome of the Yankees, I guess you'd
former
say.
shortstop.
Besides Babe Ruth.
He's like a shortstop.